Hey everybody! Today, Rahdo runs down a prototype of the Merchants of Muziris, which is a worker placement set collection card game where 2 to 4 players are merchants trying to peddle their wares as fast as they can. And when you set the game up, you are going to have available a public supply of 4 cards. Each one of these cards has 2 functions. It can either be a valuable good that you can sell for points to customers, although first you've got to get them into your hand via the merchant, or they can be useful powers that you can get by consulting an advisor. Their advice you can get. Although, in addition to these, we've got these 3 characters. There's going to be at least one more special character. It's actually special characters equal to number of players minus 1. So in a 2-player game like this, there's going to be one extra special character. Let's see who it is. This could radically change the feel of the game from session to session. And we've got the broker. Okay, the broker is like a souped-up merchant. Nobody wants to go to the merchant and get 1 produce card when you go to the broker and get 2, although they have to be unique ones. Okay, and the broker potentially helps everybody else as well. So we could have had the noble, which lets you get a lot more variety by pulling stuff out of your completed sales to access a special power, something you normally can't do, or the beggar, which can be a really great income source, or the peddler, which creates an alternate way that you can find customers to sell stuff and score points, or the monger, which gives you, there's definitely unique ones, and if that weren't enough, every time you play, you are also going to get a different market that we're playing in. Whichever card we get determines the in-game trigger conditions, and today we are in the tiger market, which means this game is going to end as soon as one player has completed 6 orders, which is very different than, say, the monkey market, where it ends as soon as somebody has earned 20 coins, i.e. points. Alrighty, so we've got our setup. I am the first player, which means I've got my worker and the first player marker, which is also a worker, and I've got my starting hand of some saffron and some salt. Okay, now, because I'm the first player, I get to activate 2 of these 4 characters. And, let's see, the advisor's always a good place to go first because, again, he lets you trigger any of these special powers, which is pretty nice. Yeah, you know what? What the heck? Let's just jump right out of the gate, and I'm going to visit the advisor, and I'm going to use this salt cards advice, which is make an order using using produce cards from my hand, which is normally how you make an order. That's what the customer is. Make an order with 1, 2, or 3 identical cards from your hand. Salt's a little bit different. Make an order with stuff from your hand, and salt counts as a wild. So, it's not like I have 1 saffron. I've got 2 saffron because I've used this advice. I've got some salted saffron I'm selling. And this is going to score me, since it's 2 cards, 3 points. If I could have 3 saffron, it could be 6 points. Oh, and I just noticed there's saffron here. Hold your horses, folks. Let's be a little bit smarter. Let's visit the merchant first and take this saffron card and put it in my hand. Oh, I should really measure twice and cut once. Then I will visit the advisor. Because I could visit the customer and I could sell 2 saffron for 3. But I'm going to trigger this salt, which means this salt card gets removed. And so nobody else has access to it. And like I said, make an order. And 1 salt is a wild. So that is an order for 3 saffron. And boom, I just scored 6 points. Although now these are all gone. Or actually what happens is you take 2 of them and you put them in the discard pile. And you take 1 as a reminder that you made this order. And normally it doesn't matter, but remember, which one was it? If the noble were in the game, I would have a choice. Do I keep the saffron for that special power or the salt for that special power? Because the noble lets me use special powers of my completed orders. But anyway, so I've completed an order. I've made 6 points. Hooray! 5 more orders and I triggered the end of the game. And I got no more cards, and I'm totally done here. And it is now Jen's turn. So she's going to come along, and she can go to the broker, or she can go to the customer. Does she want to sell something? She started with an eggplant and a mango, so she could make no points by selling a single eggplant, or 1 point by selling a mango. I don't think she wants to sell those to the customer, so she will visit the broker, which means she can add 2 different things, which means she'll take the cucumber and the honey. And it's not great to add different things because you're trying to do set collections, so you can sell bigger bundles to the customers. And the interesting thing is, after you're done, refill the supply. which is interesting. It's great to be able to grab multiple cards, but normally, if you're first in turn order, after you've grabbed cards, you've left fewer for your opponents. But the broker, while it's good for you because you get to grab 2, it refills immediately, so the players coming after you get more stuff. So the broker's kind of a double-edged sword. So anyway, so Jen didn't sell anything. She just visited the broker, so she's got a bunch of different sets she could start to collect to try to make some money. And by the way, since she was the second player, she started with 1 point right off the bat. Alrighty, now that was the end of the first round, and at the end of the round, there's always one character who was not visited, and in this case, it was the customers. Nobody sold directly to the customers, so they're getting more desperate. Whichever card didn't get visited gets a coin, so it's more valuable in the future. And now going into the second round, Jen will be the first player, which means she gets to do 2 actions, and I will only get to do 1. And what is she going to do? Let's see. So, let's see here. Hey, she's got some, she'll visit Mr. Big Bad Broker and pick up 2 different things, a cucumber, and she will get a pomegranate, because remember, with a broker, you have to take different types, and then she will refill, and there's some cinnamon, and there's some mango. There's a lot. I think there's like 10 different styles of cards, all beautifully illustrated, all with different abilities. So that's her first action. So she could go to the customer and she could sell these 2 cucumbers for 3 points, but it would be 4 because nobody visited the customer before. Or Jen could let that build up because she knows I got nothing in my hand, so this is going to be a turn where I'm rebuilding. So if she wants to sell, she probably wants to wait till next turn because then she could get $2. So she's not going to sell right now. So is she going to visit the advisor? She'd like to. Let's see. She could add all produce of a single type and then refill. So this is nice. Unlike the broker, you get to grab a bunch of matching ones. Oh! I really need to think a little bit harder when I'm doing this. We could have visited that to use the mango special power to pick up both. Let's see, lime. Oh no! She will trigger the lime ability. Add 1 produce card from the supply. She'll take that pomegranate. So Jen's working on a bunch of different sets, and then draw 1 blind. So that the lime gives you 2. And she's got a banana, and the lime is gone. So that was it for Jen. And what has she left for me? Well, she's left only 2 cards, and she's left only 1 ability. I have nothing to sell, so I guess I'll come here to the merchant and start refilling my hand. Do I want to take the cinnamon or the mango? Well, the cinnamon, if I get more of them, that could be worth up to 6. So I'll take the cinnamon. And as Jen predicted, boom, it's getting more exciting to visit the customer next time. But will that work out? Because it's my turn. I get to go first this time. And we refill. There's some black pepper and some cucumber. Jen says, oh, the 3rd cucumber and some salt. Very valuable resource. You saw how I use it right from the get-go. And what am I going to do? So the salt power is not so great to visit the advisor now that I don't have any salt in hand. The black pepper, yeah. I'll just draw 3 cards. Let's see what I get. Eggplant. 2 cinnamon, baby. And a pomegranate. Okay. You know what? If I was only selling 1, I don't know if I'd sell, but hey, I got a little bit lucky by getting some pepper advice. And now, sorry, honey pie, you got to strike fast in this game. I will visit the customers, and I will sell these 2 cinnamon for 3. 1, 2, 3, plus the 2. Man, I just made $5. Boom! And I'm not, I can still sell some more stuff later. And Jen's like, no! Bird in the hand, bird in the hand. But in the meantime, what is Jen going to do? She has 1 action. She will visit the broker, and she will take 2 different things. She'll take a cucumber. So now she has 3 of a kind, so she can sell that for 5. And she'll take some salt so that she can use this for wild if more salt comes out. And the broker says refill, which would matter if there were more players coming after Jen. But as it is, that was the end of that round. Nobody visited the poor merchant this turn, and Jen is first player now. So she gets to do 2 things, and you better believe she's not going to make this mistake again. She will go to but the customer, well, she's going to do it anyway. She's going to sell all of these cucumbers for 5. So she's just made 5, and let's see, what's her second action going to be? She will visit the advisor to do the salt, which means she'll combine this salt with, well, she can combine it with her 2 pomegranates. So that's only 3 points, though. If she combines it with her honey, which means it's a wild card for honey. That's 6 points, so she will combine it with this honey, and that is 6 more points. So just like that, boom, Jen is back in it. She has pretty much caught back up with me, and she's still got another set she's working on. And back to me, I only get to do one action. Do I just want to go to the merchant? Because I'll get an extra point. So do I want one card and a point, or do I want to go to the broker and get 2 different cards? Because I can't get advice. Hey, you know what? This is a race. Oh, by the way, I forgot. Jen, she'll keep this honey aside for her first order and the cucumber aside for her second order. So this is representing that Jen has done 2 orders. I've done 1. As soon as somebody does 6, that's the end of the game. I still got to decide what I'm going to do. And do I take 2 cards? But they have to be different, so I can't take the lime and the lime. I don't have a mango. I wouldn't mind the salt for a wild. But if I want to do that, I can just get the salt over here and get a point. There we go. And so we're done with that round, which means we refill. I will be the first player. Jen will be the second player. And we are set to go again. And what's it going to be? What's it going to be now? Well, hey, now if I visit the advisor, I can use the mango power to take all cards of a single type. So I could say, mango, give me both limes. And so now I've got another set. And that could be my first action. And I've left very little for Jen to pick up. In fact, if I just go to the merchant, I can take this, and Jen has nothing to pick up, which means the broker won't do any good. I'll pretty much be forced her to doing a sale when she might not want to be doing it. But on the other hand, I know she's got a lot of cards in her hands. So what am I going to do? I don't know, folks, but I think I am going to stop right there because that should give you a pretty good idea of the incredibly fast flow and fun set collection worker placement of the Merchants of Muziris. This is a clever game, and there's a ton of variety. And in fact, I believe if you check out the Kickstarter page, there's stretch goals for even more cool special power cards, but just even what I've got here in this prototype. Jen, I've been very, very impressed. It's a super fast, silky smooth game where even though it feels like there's often not a lot of choices, things to choose from, especially if you're the last player, hey, all these special powers that you've got on the supply and more importantly in your hand constantly keep things fresh and exciting right up to the end of the Merchants of Muziris. And that's the rundown, folks. Thanks very much for watching. Have a very nice day. Talk to you later. So long. Bye-bye.